guys, welcome back to part 3 of my little folio mini album tutorial. So last time we decorated the front cover here, and so now we're gonna go ahead and decorate the inside of our album. So I have my papers here, and what I'm gonna do first is just start cutting and the paper to size, and then I'm gonna figure out where I want to put what. So I'm gonna start cutting my papers 1/8 before the 6 inches, and I'm gonna go like that, and then I'm gonna cut these 1/8 before the 9 inches. So just right here. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do that because not all. So if I'm doing the main pages like these ones, yes, I will do this by 9. But because I wanna use this bunny here, I'm actually going to pencil mark where I'm going to cut. I almost forgot. Not all the pages are the same, so I will cut the same dimensions for these ones and like this one here, but for the other ones I'm just going to pencil mark where I'm cutting. So I'm gonna do that right there, and this one's actually a little bit smaller, so I'm gonna take a little bit off on that side as well. So let me move this to the side. So that's how I'm going to be cutting my papers. So I'm gonna start with that one, and then this one. Now I want my pages to have a lot of layers, like like this one, and then maybe I will put another one here for the paper, the picture space. Actually, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna do that after I finish covering, because I want to see how much paper I have left to work with. So now for this album, I'm going for a vintage look and maybe a little bit shabby too. So I'm going to just go around with my scissors and break up the edge just a little bit like that. And I'm going to be doing that for everything, but obviously I'm not going to be doing that in camera because the video will be way too long. So I'm going to place this one here. And so what I did is I kind of dimensioned these to the longest, let me see, how do I explain this, to the biggest area here, and the part that is kind of, how it curves like sticks out, I'm gonna leave it sticking out. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but for example here where we have this little tab sticking out, when I add my paper, I'm going to add it like that instead of tracing it and cutting it like that, just to make things more simple. So okay, so I'm gonna start here, and so I think to simplify and make the video shorter, I'm going to just record the process and then of adding the papers, and then I'll be back sharing with you. This is not working. And then I'll be back to share with you how we're going to embellish. Okay? So we added all the papers as you saw, and so now what I'm gonna do is start embellishing page by page. So I'm gonna start with the first one, and because this first page doesn't have a gusset in between, like these ones have the 1/2 inch gusset, the very first one doesn't. So the way this works, I think it's like no gusset, then the gusset on the connection, then this one has no gusset, and you know, and so on. That's how they go. So where I don't have a gusset, I'm just gonna keep it very simple. So I'm gonna add some lace here on the top. Just gonna add some glue, and I'm using the same lace that I use on the front, but this time I'm just going to add it as it is. I'm not gonna ink dye this one. And then let me see what else I can do here without adding too much what is it called, bulkiness. So I did wanted to keep this area for a picture, but maybe I can add another piece of the paper, that way when we add the picture you have that little border there. So I'm just gonna use this one. I mean, you can leave it as it is and just put your picture, you know, but I just kind of want to do like a little place to put the picture. So I'm gonna cut it a little bit shorter just so the bunny doesn't get covered. So I think that's fine. Now I'm gonna again distress the edge, and I'm gonna do this a lot, so I'll probably skip the step on the video but just assume that I am doing this for every photo mat, just because I want to keep the consistency of the vintage look throughout the album. So I'm gonna place this one right there. Just gonna use some of my glue here. Okay, now I have a lot of laces and trims that, you know, that are left over from other projects, or you know, some that are a little bit newer, so I'm going to be embellishing a lot using that. So over here I'm gonna do that, and like I said, I want to keep this page simple and flat to be able to close my album, but I do want to embellish it a little bit. So I'm gonna just gonna add like a tiny piece of color here. Whoopsie, I'm just making a little banner. I'm gonna fold this in half like that and just make this little tiny little banner, and I'm gonna place this right in there. So just gonna add a little bit more glue and place it just to give it a little touch of color. Okay, so that's gonna be that page. Now we're gonna move on to the next one. So I love when my albums, when you close them and you can see lots of laces on the side. So again, I'm going to be adding this lace here on the side. That way that, you know, when you close the album, it looks fuller, full of laces and embellishments. So just going to do a thin line of glue and add this. Where is it? This one that I just cut out. Alright. Now Easter is all about pastels and, you know, soft colors, colorful. So I do want to keep it with a lot of different colors. So I'm gonna see if I actually have different colors of laces in my stash to incorporate here. Now in the meantime, I'm gonna use some of these cute, how cute are these little images? So here's a very pretty one with the bunny and the ducky, so I think I want to use that one. And then again, I'm going to be using my scraps to decorate. So here I can probably use this little scrap to make a fold out. So I'm just going to fold this in half. I'm gonna fold that in half, and I'm gonna actually press with that, and then this will go right there, and I'm going to trim that on the side. So let me make a mark where I will trim it, kind of right there, just eyeballing my measurements. So let me see here. I have my desk full of things, but I'm gonna try to do this in camera. So I'm just gonna cut. So now I have a little booklet, and what I love about these double-sided papers is that, you know, you can just place it right there and not worry about covering the back. I do, however, want to ink a little bit, and so the edge looks a little bit more distressed. Okay, and then this little image here, I'm going to distress like we did before, and I'm going to just add it into my little booklet. So just something like that. How cute. Okay. And now to keep this close and make it a little bit more shabby, I'm going to be using my seam binding. You can find the seam binding also at countrycraftcreations.com. They have a different variety of colors, and these are very cute if you want to make your album, you know, look a little bit more shabby and more delicate. So I'm going to be using these for the closure. Now before I cut it, I want to make sure I have enough, so I think this should be fine. Right. So now I'm going to hold them and I'm going to turn it around, and just holding it there with my finger because I don't want to lose my center. But I will add some Fabri-Tac glue and make sure it's there, and then I'm going to add this whole thing. And now let's see, I kind of want to place this at an angle just like that. Okay, and I'm gonna let that dry for a second, and I'm gonna be using, let's see if I have some colorful flowers. These flowers here on my stash, and let's see. So I like the yellow colors, and those are kind of like felt. I think these colors combine really pretty. So let me just do those for now. Let's see, maybe this one too. Okay, I'm gonna play with those and see how I want this to look. Now I'm doing flowers here because this is one of the pages that I do have that have an inch gusset. Okay, so that goes like that. How cute. And then maybe I'll do a little flower cluster here on the bottom, which I think I like. So there we go. I don't like overthinking what I do because then it will take me forever. So I like just kind of going with the flow and see. Now see, yellow on yellow, I don't know if I like that, so maybe I'll find something different. Let's see, I think that one's cute. I have a purple one too, but I don't think I have anything purple in this page, so I'm just gonna keep it there. Yeah, I don't like the yellow. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with the pink, and then also on the top I'm going to use these flag-back pearls. You can also find flag-back pearls at Country Craft Creations. Now I don't know if they have the exact same ones like this, but they have a very pretty one that comes with 2 rows of pearls. It's very pretty. So I'm just using what I have right now, and of course you can dig into your stash and see what you can use to embellish your album. But I do like taking the time to embellish my albums just because it makes it, I think it looks, you know, those extra little details is what makes your album look, you know, a little bit more, you know, shabby, more, you know, that you put a lot of thought into it, especially if you're giving it as a gift for a friend or something like that. Okay, so I'm done with that page. Now here, let's see again. Let me see what do I want to do here. So here I want to keep a big space for a big picture, but I do want to add a photo mat, just so whoever gets this album can just come and add their picture. Now I will hate to cover that, but I think I'm going to be using this green. I love the green color here, and just create like a photo mat. So I'm gonna cut that. I don't know the exact dimension. I'm actually gonna cut it on the side. Okay, so the piece measures 5 by 5, and again I'm gonna give it that distressed look all around. And I have a basket full of lace. Hold on. It's just kind of noisy, I'm sorry. Okay, so I have a basket full of lace, and I keep like pieces like that. So I'm going to use this kind of for the background here of my photo mat, just to give it a soft texture. And then when we add a picture, you will have that green border. I know it looks really green right now, but once you add your picture, all you're gonna see is a little green piece. So I'm just gonna add some glue and place my lace, and then I'm gonna place my photo mat. You can definitely skip the photo mat part if you just wanna add your pictures straight on the album, but I do like having that one extra layer for me at least. Okay, so that is there. Now again, we have this space here, and if you like, you can embellish with flowers. Now when you add your flowers, keep in mind that, for example, I have a cluster of flowers here. When we close the album, you don't want to do another cluster of flowers here. You have to, or you might want to do it on this other side, just to balance out your space, so when you close your album, it's not super extra bulky. Okay, so okay, for the next 2 pages, I have these pockets, kind of like a file folder pockets, and what I'm gonna do is just use my pearl trims and just go around here. And so I'm just gonna cut 2 separate pieces, and then I'll do the same for the other one too. Okay, so that side and then this side. And then I'm gonna make some booklets to go into these pockets, but I'm gonna do that at the end. That way I'll just do these ones and the other ones all together. So I think for this page, this one needs to stay kind of flat. So I'm going to cut out this Happy Easter, and I'm just going to, this is one of the 4x3 cards. So I'm just gonna fuzzy cut it like this. And then, oh, it's actually, you know what, this is actually on the shape of an egg. I just realized that. So maybe I'm gonna try to make it look like an egg, maybe. I don't know if I can cut it exactly like an egg, but I can try. So I'm gonna cut it up like that. Let's see here. Kind of. Okay. And then I'm gonna ink it. You know, when you ink it, then it doesn't look so bad when you fuzzy cut it up. So I'm gonna ink this, and then this I'm gonna place right on one of these sides that says Happy Easter. So I'm gonna do that right here. Okay, so on this side, I don't know if I want to do something else. Maybe I'll put this. Okay, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna put this one in here like that, and then I'm gonna fuzzy cut out this cute bunny, and I'm gonna put it there. Okay, I cut it out, and then I also inked around her, and I'm just going to add her on this side. Okay, so that's cute. All right, so now moving on to the next one. Let me see here. So I think on this page I'm also going to do some sort of lace on the side, so I might do this one there. Let me think. Let's see here. How does that look? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one. I love when we have different laces, so they're not super matchy. Okay, so let's do that one. Oops, too long. Let's see there. Okay, and I'm gonna add some glue here on this side, and I'm gonna place this lace. Now this lace is very thick, like very white, so I'm just going to keep some out and some in. So cute. I love this paper here, this vintage flower print. That's my favorite. Okay, so and because this one's super long, I'm gonna add another bit of glue there too. Oops. There. Not this one. Okay, so that way it's not flapping around. All right, so now what else do we want to do here? Let's see. I want to use these girls. These are so cute, but I do want space for pictures, so maybe I'll add them here, and then maybe I will just fuzzy cut the image so it doesn't look too square. You know, I find this collection very beautiful also to make some cards. So I think I'm going to be using, because I have 2 sheets of these 4x3 cutouts, and I'm going to be using that other one to make some cards. So I think that's really cute there. So I'm going to just ink these just like that, and we can probably put that there. And then let me see if I had some leftover little flowers somewhere. Oh my goodness, such mess. Okay, so not this one. Okay, I found it. I would like to think that I'm very organized. I think I am, but you know, my husband says I'm not. And I think he might be right sometimes. Alright, so I'm also going to use these beautiful buttons. So now these ones are Spring Fling Button Galore and more. And you can find these are Country Craft Creations too. They have these beautiful ones. They also have flowers, and what else they had? They had different designs, and they're all very beautiful Easter colors. So all I'm gonna do here is cut this back piece. Okay, and then I cut it out, by the way. See, there you go. So, and then I'm going to incorporate this one here. I love how this will look, because they're, you know, jumping in the garden. So, and then I can use these little pink flowers too. Okay, so, okay, more doing, less talking. So I'm gonna glue my image. Now I'm only gonna glue one side, because I want to make sure we're gonna have a picture slide behind this, maybe, you know, if we want to put a large picture there. And so then I'm going to use these little flowers. I'm gonna cut the stem just like that, and let's see, so I'm gonna place these ones kind of like that. Okay. It's hard to put on because this page is not, I don't know what I have under here. Okay, so it's not quite laying flat, so it's hard to see. So I'm just gonna put this little flower there, and then I'm going to put this other one right next to it. those two little flowers, and then I'm gonna put the watering can right there. So I'm trying to hold this page from opening, from closing, and I'm gonna place this right here, just like that. I think that's good. And I'm gonna hold this for a second until it dries. And then lastly, for this page, I'm gonna be using more of this trim, these little pearls, and this is not coming out. Okay, just right here on the top. Okay. For this next pages, this one opens up like that, and there's two together. So I don't think I'm gonna do anything here, other than just adding a little bit of lace on this second page here. So I'm just going to add my glue again. Okay, and then these little lace here. Okay, I love embellishing with lace. I think it gives it a very soft touch. Okay, so that there, and then here, I'm not sure if I want to cover that up, but I did use this little piece here that came with these little girls that we fuzzy cut out. So I'm gonna use that one, and I was actually thinking on putting it kind of like up here on the first one, and then if I find other little ones from the collection, then I'll probably add them on the top too. But I think this one's kind of perfect. So when we close the album, you can see that little sentiment. Okay, so that's that. And then, so nothing here. This one, maybe I will do this cute little one here on the side. So I think that one matches with a very pretty paper there. And again, I'm only gonna glue sorry, the button here. Okay, so I'm gonna glue it here. That way a picture can go behind it, or maybe even tacking some memorabilia on that page. Okay, perfect. So now on this side, again, now you can see the pretty border, and then in here I want to do something, maybe this right here will do. Let me see what else we have. I'm gonna save 4 of these to make booklets, so I think I'm gonna save these 4 that are super cute, and then I'm gonna use this one here on the side. Okay, so I'm gonna save those for my booklets, and I'm gonna cut this one out, and we'll do that one there. Okay, so I'm just gonna ink again, inking everything or distressing. And I know it's time consuming when you do that, but at the end it will just look super cute, and it's definitely worth it. So I'm gonna add it on this side and just place it right there like that. Okay, so that for that. Here, this is gonna be super cute for a picture. I have magnets on this page, so I don't wanna make it bulky, otherwise the magnet wouldn't work. But maybe I will add something here. Let me think. So this is why we save all of our little scrap pieces, because maybe something can go right there. Okay, where are my scrap pieces? I have a bunch, but okay, so this one, ooh, this one will be pretty here. All right, so I'm just gonna cut a piece that is probably gonna be bigger. Let's see. Yes, okay. So even this tiny little piece I'm going to ink, and then I'm gonna put some glue here, and I'm just gonna place this right there. just like that. And then I'm gonna go on the back and just fuzzy cut it around it with my scissors. I'm gonna weird angle here, so I actually have to do it like this. Okay, so just take that out, and let's see here a little bit more, and a little bit more. Okay, so just kind of giving it that same shape, and then I'm gonna ink the outside. So there. So now we embellish this one. So you know what, I think I'm like that, and I'm gonna do the same here. I'll do it off camera. Okay, so now on this page I'm gonna go to my scraps. I have a bunch, and see if I have something to accommodate. I'm gonna save that. See if I have something to accommodate here. I don't like that one too much. Ooh, this one. Okay, so here I can make a very pretty photo mat. So where's my paper cutter? Oh, here. I think I am losing my brain. Okay, so here I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it and cut it there, and perfect. Okay, so that worked out just perfect, and I'm gonna put it right here on the center. So I'm going to do this. Okay, and because this is my last opportunity to add lace, I'm going to use the same one that I use on the front here. So, you know, just to make it look full, I'm gonna cut a piece. Maybe I'll go all the way up here. I'm gonna cut this up, add my glue, and just place that on the side. Okay, and now I'm gonna go and add my photo mat right there. And I don't want to cover the beautiful paper with the X, but I do want to do this. Just like that. Okay, that's cute. And then so maybe, let's see, maybe I can add a little cluster of flowers here as well, and I can use more of my pretty, this is so pretty, these pretty watering cans. Okay, so I found this very pretty flower here on my table. I have a stash of flowers right there. I like to keep them all out. I kind of go on my stash and I gather things that I think will match and keep them so where I can see them, you know. Oh, so before I add this flower, I made a little banner out of some scrap pieces, just because I think it needs a little, you know, something to sit on. So let me ink this really quick. And so yeah, so always save your scrap little pieces. Things like these can turn into something that you can use. So I'm gonna place that there, and then this cute flower, and then my watering can here, I'm gonna put it up here too. These are so stinking cute. I can't even. I love it. Okay, so that one's gonna go there, and I'm just going to hold it here for a second till it dries. And lastly, for this page, I'm gonna use more of this right here on the top. Okay, so yeah, just have fun decorating. Use what you have. Gather your supplies. Try to use your scratches of, you know, your little pieces of laces and ribbons and you know, everything you save. Get it all out, put it on your table where you can see it, and then start decorating. Let's see. That's what I do. It's a big old mess on that side of the room. You can't really see it, but it's okay. Alright, so we are done with this page. I love how it looks. So I think it looks super shabby, and I like it. I love this flower. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now next, did we do this? Okay, we did. Alright, so for the last two here, okay, maybe I'm gonna give this a minute. Okay, and for these last two, I'm just gonna add this very pretty lace, and just because I want to keep this page really flat, because this one has a lot of gusset here, my expanding little pockets, so I want to make sure I don't put a lot of embellishments on that. Okay, so 1 and 2, just like that. And then also I want to see if I can probably use, we can probably use this area here to add a photo mat, like a picture. So I want to take advantage of that big space. Alright, so I'm just going to put this to here, and now we're going to come back and do now we're going to do some of the booklets that are going to go inside our pockets, and we are almost done. So for my little booklets, I'm going to use a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I'm just going to score along 5.5 here, and I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4. So 4 1/4. So now I'm going to have two pieces, and these are going to be my booklets. Just very simple like that. I'm going to fold along the score line. This is one, and the other one. Just like that. And then I'm going to cover these two, just the front, using some of my paper here. And then I'm going to decorate it using these little 4x3 cards. They're so pretty. So I'm cutting my cardstock at 5 by 4. Oops. So 5 by 4. And again, I'm gonna need 2. And then I'm gonna ink around. Let's see here. Okay. Put that on the side. So I'm gonna ink this too. I'm gonna do one here. This is a very, the green is very pretty. It's very bright, and it's kind of dark, a little bit dark. So you don't really need to distress a lot. Just make sure you etch it's inked. So I like the polka dots. And then I'm going to put the little boy, or I don't know if I like this one. I like them both actually. Okay, I have this one inked, and then I'm gonna just add it. I decided I'm gonna use the other side, this pretty design, and just place that right there. And then I'm gonna place this card just to make something pretty there, and then I'm gonna ink again all around this, just like that. Okay, so this is gonna be one of our booklets. I kind of wanted to do a little bit of lace because you know I'm obsessed with it, but I want to make sure it's gonna fit first. Okay, so get that out because it's getting kind of bulky already. So let me put this one. This one's gonna go right here. That's cute. I think I don't need to put the lace on top. I think this flower made it super bulky, so I might have to change it, I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna keep it for now. So that's that one. I'm gonna do the same for this one. And then I'm gonna grab another piece of cardstock and I'm gonna cut these long ways at 7. And then I'm gonna turn this around and cut at 10. So this is gonna be 7 by 10, and we are gonna score this piece at 5 inches. Just right down the middle, and I'm gonna fold it. And this is gonna be a larger format, so you can probably accommodate 5 by 7s or 4 by 6s with a little bit of edge. And then I'm just going to decorate this front here. I'm gonna use this sheet that I still have. So now I'm gonna cut this at 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. So I think I'm gonna be able to use this little bunny for one of the front of the cards, and for the other one I would just use the cut-aparts that I have, that I saved. So I have 2 here, so I'm gonna put them back here, and so that's gonna be all we have to do, and we are done. So where are my, I have the cute little, let's see, okay, so here, so I have these 2 left, so I think I'm gonna use the, which one should I use? The little chickens, yes. So I'm gonna save that one, and I'm gonna use these little chickens here, like that. And so I'm just gonna layer like this. I'm gonna distress a little bit on the edge, just like that, just like that. And then this one I'm just going to ink. So I'm gonna place this one down, and then I'm gonna go ahead and ink all around my card. This is almost like making a card, you know. So that's the next thing I want to do with this collection. I'm saving a lot of it to do. I have a 6 by 6 also, so I'm gonna save to do some cards. So this is almost like making a card, just instead of putting a sentiment, we're gonna put a picture inside, right? So I'm gonna use some of this pretty lace just to have a little, you know, to make it a little bit softer. And I'm gonna just trim this right there. So here I'm gonna glue that pretty lace right there. And I don't know if you can see, yeah, just like that. Maybe more in, this one's kind of large. Okay, so I'm gonna have my lace, and then I'm just gonna place that in my photo mat. So if you're doing some cards with this collection, this will also be a great way to do that. So I'm gonna place that like that, and then I'm going to use the sticker sheets. Sorry, I kind of had it on the side. So I'm gonna use the sticker sheet, and I'm gonna add a happy Easter, like that. So this is almost like I said, we're making a little card. So cute, sticker sheet. Now if I was making a card with this, I would probably do a cute little like pearl trim or something on the top, but because I want to keep these ones flat, I'm not gonna be doing that here. Okay, so I'm gonna use this other cute bunny, and I'm gonna do like the same thing, kinda. Okay, so I have my 2 photo mats, and like I said, these ones will do 5 by 7. So lastly, I'm just going to place these 2 cards that I did. Now inside we will put 2 pictures. If if you want to make this into cards, you just write sentiment in the back. And so these ones will go in my expandable pockets right here. And then on these pockets you have room to put lots more, you know. But I'm just going to do that for now. And so that is it. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. This is all, you know, ready just to put pictures in. And then these ones I kept playing. And of course you can go back and add your scrap pieces to decorate. For example, something like this that I have, you know, like you can cut a little edge. And why don't we do that so I can show you how to use your scraps. I'm gonna cut it just about an inch here, and then I'm gonna use my paper punch. So this is a good way to utilize all your scraps and then, you know, add embellishments. You can also do this for cards. So when you're doing your cards, and you just use your scraps to add a pretty edge here. So I'm just gonna do this like that really quick, just so I can give you an idea how you can use your scrap pieces, especially if the paper is so pretty like this. You wanna utilize every little bit of it. Sometimes on my tutorials I don't do all of that just to save time, but you know, so we'll put it right there or right there. So I'm just gonna do one here to show you how you can go back and use all of your scraps just like that. So you can do that throughout your album, especially where you have like the plain pages like that. This page here, this design was not included with the paper pack. This was a different authentic pattern, solids and patterns, I think it's called, patterns. And so like this one too, and that one's also, that was also included with my design team package, same as this one's. So here, this will open up like that. I went ahead and I added that. So yeah, so I hope you guys had fun with this tutorial, and I hope you try it and just have fun creating. And let me know if you did try it. Let me know if you enjoy these, and let me know what would you like to see next. So thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.